You want to intro this one?
I'll try next time.
Welcome to the Slop Review.
Epic.
That's it. Alright. We're back. It's episode 2. This is maybe the most important episode we've ever done, except for the first one.
And the pre-first one.
This might be more important than the episode 0.
The pre-com episode.
Ew. Gross. Alright, who started? Did you start last time?
I don't remember, so I'll start this time.
Fine by me. I'll check later.
Okay, so obviously for this part we're just going over Slop. Usually it's gonna be probably at a certain point we found. Right now we've got we've got a bit of a backlog that we can go through.
I checked my manga decks this morning just to see like how many, and my reading, the ones I've tagged as reading, number is 291.
Oh my god!
So that's and I've completed 80. That's the backlog.
I'm in a lot more danger than you are because I even have one that I started reading this week, found this week already.
That's crazy.
Because I had a clean sleep at one point, so I lost a lot of slop.
If manga dex ever goes down, it is over for me.
It's cooked. I gotta refine my slop.
My whole life is in there.
So this is the new one that I found.
Okay.
It's got 12 chapters right now, and this one's playing death games to put food on the table.
Sounds like Hachi.
It was thinking with Monokuma.
Danganronpa?
Danganronpa. This is basically Danganronpa, but the whole plot is that the main character has gone through 28, 29 death games at this point, and they work fairly similar to Danganronpa. There's less voting out of people. It's more in the first one, they've only shown 2, and in the first one that they show, they just have to escape some mansion with a bunch of traps. And then in the second one, it was there was 2 teams and they kill a certain amount on the other team basically to win.
Right.
But the main character is just she's just killing, she's just joining the games literally for aura farming. Her whole goal is I want to win 100 games in a row.
That's awesome.
She's
this is a great idea.
It's kind of sick. I think the name to put food on the table, I sort of wish it was more literally she's doing it to put food on the table.
Yeah, more survival focused.
More she's just going home and she doesn't want to work a 9 to 5, so instead she works dead games. But I think at that point, they kind of implied that you've got more than enough money. So she's literally just doing it because
if you've won, I think 5 death games, you should be set for life.
You should probably be. If you win,
you should be
one,
set. Yeah, after 1 actually.
You should probably...
But 5 you can live a lavish lifestyle.
Right. And so she's just I'm gonna win 100 death games, which I guess is a more common goal than I thought, because they talk about death game veterans and
that's crazy.
Her master was at 98 death games before dying. Which is unbelievably tough.
That sucks.
But it's it's such a... I'm not gonna lie, it's such a strange concept that when I picked it up initially, I read 6 or 7 chapters, and I was this is so strange, I don't want to read it anymore. And then I remembered it for this, and this is such a crazy concept, I need to bring it back up.
That is insane. That is such a good idea.
It's kind of fire. I don't think it's... I need you to read it genuinely, because I don't think it's executed super well, because the death games don't have that much depth to them, and the main character's not that good, because she's kind of just Ai Nagochi.
This is kind of the start of the Yu-Gi-Oh manga.
Really? How?
Because before, Yu-Gi-Oh didn't start with the card game. The original manga was it was Yugi possessed by the soul of the pharaoh. I don't even remember how. It might have still been the Millennium Puzzle. And then, but the pharaoh's not the master of duel monsters. He's the master of games.
Oh.
So Yugi would get bullied by a kid, and then the pharaoh would come out, and the whole arc would be about some new game, maybe a board game or whatever, that usually ends with the bully or whoever getting dying.
Oh my god.
Genuinely dying, and then the pharaoh's I've done it. And then Yugi comes back, he's oh, I'm super sad. And then one of the arcs was Duel Monsters. And then it just went huge. People were like, do more of that. And so that became the entire
thing. It became Duel Monsters.
Yeah, that's how
so
Yu-Gi-Oh
funny.
started. That's why, like, when they Americanized it, they go to, like, the Shadow Realm or whatever. In Japan, they just die.
Oh.
There's no Shadow Realm. They just die.
That's so much cooler.
It's so hype.
Well, one thing that made this very uncomfortable is that, like, it's just like an accepted fact. They're like, yeah, this is fine. They all got, like, genetically modified. So
What?
first of all, the whole point of the game, it's like Danganronpa because it's all, like, recorded
Yeah.
for pleasure.
For pleasure.
For pleasure. So they go in like weird costumes. They wake up in like a strange costume, usually like kind of sexual, and then they all got genetically modified so that instead of blood, they have this like cream that comes out of them. That,
This
like,
is Danganronpa.
right? Like, but instead of like Danganronpa where it's like pink or like whatever, like funny colors.
Yeah.
It's like. It looks like cotton candy. Like, it's so weird, and it looks very uncomfortable.
It's like Danganronpa, Classroom of the Elite, and Gantz
Dude,
combined.
it's so strange. And, like, literally... But then it's, like, still so violent, because, like, her master literally got, like, picked to pieces, and, like, her like, ribs were all over the ground, and the person that killed her was like, you
Oh
can
my
tell
God.
her health was bad, because her ribs are small, and
What the
her
fuck?
organs are black. And
That's
it's like-
awesome.
I think now her health is maybe a little worse.
Yeah, I don't think this helped.
She's got bigger things to worry about right now.
It's like, of course her health is small. It's been 98 death games.
She's played 98 death games in a row. Like,
I would love to be a death game veteran.
it'd be sick, dude.
I could do it.
I'm a death game veteran.
I'm a death game veteran.
Death game veteran.
Nothing kills me.
They talk about the 29th death game wall, where apparently at 29 death games, people often die. And it's like...
Okay.
That's like such an arbitrary thing,
Yeah,
I feel
29.
Because I feel like it'd be pretty typical to die at any death game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's usually how it works.
Like, they surpassed the 29th death game wall. I'm like, brother.
Surely this means they'll be able to pass the 30th, I guess.
I guess.
And the next 70.
And then the 98th death game wall. where,
Yeah, that's the other one.
where your ribs become small and your organs get black.
Has anyone done 100?
I don't think so. They don't touch on that, but I don't...
Okay.
It doesn't seem
My
like
part
it.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't seem like it. So, and this is by
SMH.
Yuichi Ukai.
Yuichi Ukai.
Ukai. And one of the genres is ecchi, and one of the tags on comic is small breasts, and then another one is big breasts. So,
Covering their bases. If you're scrolling comic by the breast size tags,
if you click,
you're doomed.
you're
bro.
a beast.
No, you're doomed.
Like, not a good beast, like a bad beast. It's so... Comic puts so many arbitrary tags on everything. It's so funny.
Yeah, remember you talked about the One Piece tags last time?
They're so big. I should bring it up sometime. But, like, male demographic with female lead.
That's what I'm trying to read.
I need the male demographic with female lead. Escape/S.
/S?
S. There could be escape more than once.
Oh, I see. Usually you put that in parentheses, I think.
I feel like he probably would. Well, but I mean, /S is normal.
No one's ever done /.
/serious.
Alright. Okay, last week I mentioned one about, like, a romance occurring on a train told by
Okay.
other characters, and I said I'd bring it this week, so I brought it this week. English name is They Are Still Being Shaken This Morning by Masude Eiji.
Okay.
IG. First of all, the art is goated.
Okay.
It looks so good. It's really unique looking. The plot is about, like, it's like two high schoolers, whatever, and they're like, they sit next to each other on the train every morning. But you don't really care about what's happening with them at all.
Yeah.
Because the whole story is told through three people that are just watching them. It's just an old guy, like a woman that works in an office, and a university student that are, like, all chill with each other because they bonded over this.
Over there.
Where they're watching these two try to have, like, this morning romance on this train for 20 minutes every day.
That is a really funny idea.
It's so funny.
That's so good.
Like, they've established in the first chapter that the three watching have they've started they've gotten each other's phone numbers so they can talk to each other about what's happening in front of them while on the train. There's another one of the chapters. They're out to they're getting food together somewhere after. I'm like, it's such a weird friendship that's bloomed from this, but also two of you have work.
Yeah.
You're on your way to work. What are you doing?
They are going to work.
And it is maybe one of the most frustrating romances ever.
Really?
It is unbelievable. Because they barely even talk to each other. They don't know each other's names. I don't even know their names. They don't talk to each other ever. They're just into each other, I guess, for no reason.
And they just sit next to each other?
And they sit next to each other. The guy tries to talk to her in, the first or second chapter. Because she has, a pin of, some game character. And he's like, oh, that character, blah, blah, blah. And then the train, how it's set up is it's, 2 seats here, which would be them, and then 2 there, that are, facing inwards. The guy where you would be sitting, if I was the guy in the story, your spot is just some random old guy that assumed he was talking to him, and he's like, I love that game. This old guy, it's very much like if it was on comic, it'd have the ugly bastard tag.
Okay.
He's just a gross freak, but he's kind of the homie. He's so genuine. He just loves the game.
He fucks with the game heavy.
He just really loves the game.
I gotta read this.
And they talk about the game for a while, but the kid's like, fuck!
He's like, God damn it!
God damn it! And there's another episode where, oh, now he got me calling him episodes. You piece of shit. There's another chapter where he's waiting for her to sit down. I think he was like, I'm gonna initiate a conversation today. And the second she starts sitting down, he turns and starts talking. But what he doesn't realize is it's the old man again. Oh! And it shows a pale, the old guy. He's so touched. He's like, you want to play the game with me that badly? I would be honored to. And then they just talk about the game for the whole chapter. Low-key, it's more about that guy than anyone.
He's touched. That's so funny.
The people watching at first are like, this old guy is a piece of shit. Get him out of here. He's in the way. And then they're like, he's so genuine. It's like this weird side plot that keeps coming up.
That's so funny.
It's so weird. And then at one point, she is she's reading a book. She's always reading. She's a horrific reader, which we don't fuck with. As we read Slop.
Yeah.
But it looks like the book she's holding, she's holding it like this, and it looks like she's holding a note card that says I like you, and he's like, Sugoi! Then it turns out that's just what the cover of the book is. That's just on it like that. It looks weird.
Bro.
But we find that out because the old guy that's watching them with part of the 3, he pulls the book out from his bag. He's reading the same romance book as these high schoolers. And the 2 are like, what are you doing? Hey, how old are you, bro?
Why are you reading that?
It's really funny.
And then there's the student, the guy see the book and he's like, oh.
I don't know if he even saw it. I think he just figured it out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That part of the story doesn't matter at all.
It's just funny.
The romance is not moving forward even slightly. The romance with the random guy that likes the game is moving forward. That's such a funny character trope. It's the old guy who cucks the progression, but he's just kind of the homie. He's just
kind of real.
I like that guy.
He just really likes the game.
Yeah, that's about it though. Like I said, the art's really good.
Is there any does the girl like him too? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
She hardly does anything though.
Okay.
It's told through facial expressions, and then the 3 people watching talk about it.
That's so...
And they go, she's definitely. They're making conspiracy theories she's definitely into him. She must be, and then someone will be like, no.
No, she couldn't be.
Also, the first page of the first chapter shows a 4th person watching, and then they just forget about it.
They don't remember.
Yeah, that guy just gets cut out, which is kind of unfortunate.
That is so tough.
Yeah, that's it.
You gotta send me this.
I have sent you this.
No.
I'm pretty confident.
I feel... Maybe you did. Okay. I have remembered that there's a better slopper to talk about. So I'm gonna go I'm gonna talk about another one I took a picture of that I think gets to kind of start a conversation early.
I don't know what any of what you said means, so we're gonna find
So,
out.
okay. The one that I brought here is Miss Regular Customer Wants to Enjoy. I don't know if you've at all read it.
I don't know it by name.
The art is great, but it has, I think, a pretty typical issue in manga of, like, this character, I might even be a middle schooler.
Uh-oh.
It is fairly erotic.
Okay.
I do not like it very much for that. But I was like, what would you say is your take on this type of thing? Because this is, like, pretty common. And I feel like it's a good thing to get out of the way early.
It depends on how they're drawn, man.
Yeah.
Because there's two ways that goes. Either they look like middle schoolers, and it's like, okay, let's just not do this. And sometimes they're high schoolers and they look like middle schoolers.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Nagatoro.
Yeah.
If you're reading Nagatoro, you're a pedophile. I'll say it. You're a pedophile.
It might be a problem.
We know a Nagatoro fan, and I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
I asked him every single week if it was still good, and he's still weird.
He's a pedophile. What can I say? That's about it. But there's other ones where they don't look as young, and it's like, I still feel weird.
Yeah.
But if it's not insanely erotic, it's like maybe there's a story here. Luckily, I think middle school ones are way less common than high school.
Yeah, I think that it's like if the character is drawn, or if all the characters, like if any one of the characters is drawn to look younger than like 18, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Red alert. If any of them are drawn to look, or if like all of them are drawn to look over 18, but they're actually like in high school, it's okay.
It's kind of rough.
And like,
What do you think about Call of the Night? They're middle schoolers. Well,
a
he
good
is. She's a
question.
vampire.
that one doesn't move. That one's like not too erotic though. That one's kind of wholesome.
No, not too much. Especially, there's like a little bit on whatever the vampire girl's name is.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a vampire, so
She's
it's
a
okay.
vampire.
She's
Yeah.
800 years old. I love Monogatari. She's
Yes, I fucking
she's
love
598.
I love it so much. Like, I mean, like it's like, with League of Legends reference here.
Oh!
Oh,
I love League of Legends.
when I think it was like Lux was like sort of like a gooned character for a bit,
Yeah.
and then during this time, Riot was suddenly like, oh, by the way, she's under 18.
Really?
Yeah.
For Lux?
For Lux.
Is she
and-
the one that goes, I want to see everything?
She's
Is that
the,
Lux?
she's the one that you were destroying Caleb. Like you were the support for Caleb.
Yeah, it is the one.
Yeah.
I want to see everything.
I want to see everything. She is like pretty clearly designed to be like at least ambiguous.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
In
I had no
age.
idea.
So it's like at that level where like they're close, like visually they're close, but then they're kind of like retconned to be under, so there's less gooning. I'm like,
I just thought as, do you think the song Wrong Way by Sublime is about Annie from League of Legends?
I don't remember Wrong Way by Sublime at all.
Well, the first two lines are, Annie's 12 years old, in 2 more she'll be a whore.
It's gotta be. It's
about a
gotta
child
be about Annie
prostitute
from League of Legends.
Named Annie, so...
But like Zoe is a problem. Zoe is a character. She's like basically like the 9,000-year-old
Oh, yeah.
blank in the body of a child.
I'm surprised Annie isn't that.
Well, Annie's I mean, Annie's also. I guess I'm not sure. About, I don't remember much about Annie, but I think that
Yes, I
Annie's.
talk about League of Legends.
League of Legends review, bro.
Welcome to the League of Legends review.
Pull up a VOD and review it.
That's all we do. And then we still talk about One Piece.
And I'm not gonna say the name of this one because I think that it's weird to make manga about a child. The author of this one.
You brought it just for that?
I brought it because I wanted to talk about that.
What was that Shonen Jump one that was written by a pedophile? Well, I mean, there's a few of them, but what was the one that got canceled early?
I remember talking about that one, but
Right?
I don't remember what it is.
I can't remember the name.
I can't remember the name at
Whatever,
all.
he's in prison.
He's in prison.
He's in prison, who cares?
Well, my third one's about a guy. The author's in prison.
Oh, man.
But I'm gonna pull up the name of it real quick because he's in prison for being based, if I remember correctly.
Oh, what, like tax evasion?
Yes. I'm not joking.
That's awesome.
It's sick, bro.
That's what you should be in prison for.
For real. All right.
Okay. We'll go. Dude, I think the Japanese names are so much better. 'Cause when you have like English names, it's like this is so cringe. We've got Klutzy, Gullible, Nishiga, Hachi by Kamatama. The art style of this one is fine. It is like a kind of a nothing burger. The girl's character design is actually really interesting, which you don't see often. Normally it's kind of a copy paste.
Yeah.
This one I think is super underrated
Really.
because there's a whole like it's almost not Slop. I think it's that good.
Really.
It's just like a basic romance too. But I was reading this one when it was pre-serializing, and then it got serialized. And I'm like, that's my goat.
I love catching stuff pre-serialization, because then like you get to see the Slop art style, which is usually still really good, and then you get to see them rerun it.
Yeah, I think the pre-serialized art style a lot of the time is better though.
Often,
'Cause
I think.
I
it's
also
better.
just like rougher art styles that are more expressive.
That's why Chainsaw Man's the go.
It is the goat. Rough and rowdy.
Rough and fun.
This one is shockingly funny.
Really.
And I don't find manga funny ever.
I rarely do.
I'm kind of a hater. This one, I was rereading some of it this morning just for like notes, and I was like, this is really funny. Like they do a lot with like facial expressions where characters like turn into Buddha and shit, which is always fun. There's like there's a panel where a character's like turning into goop for kind of no reason.
Okay.
It's awesome. The story is like it's a whatever. It's a guy that's like stoic and who cares, and like the younger Kohai who's like, oh, Sugoi.
Sugoi.
It's like who cares. First chapter, she's like, you don't have a girlfriend. And he's like, I got a girl at home. And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, she's a cute girl and she licks me when I get out of the shower. She's like, what? What are you talking about? It ends up being a dog.
Of course.
But he runs that bit for like several pages. It starts getting graphic. He's like, she licks me when I get out of the shower. We sleep together every night. I'm like, bro, he's crazy. Also, he is not into her at all.
Oh.
Well, on the outside, right? But she's super into him.
Okay.
It's mostly from her POV. But in the first chapter, after that like fake out thing with the dog, he just offers to go out with her. He's like, no, I'm actually not dating anyone. If you want to, I'm down. And she's like, no. For no reason.
For no reason. Okay.
We could have had a chapter 1 like ending, and she's just like, no. And like runs away. I'm like, what are you doing? This was the goal the whole time.
She wasn't ready.
Yeah, her hair is like black and yellow, and I bring it up because a couple of chapters later, he calls her a bee, and he also says she's likely poisonous.
I feel like I might know the pre-serialization of this, but not know
Yeah.
the after-serialization. Because black and yellow hair, I feel like I remember.
Did she have like, what's that shape? Like kites?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, yeah.
Okay, I knew this pre-serialization, but
Yeah.
not after.
Also, what the hell is that?
I don't know.
Why can't I think of the name of the shape either? Diamond, there we go.
A time.
It's like diamonds. I was like, is that a tattoo? What is that? Is that, like, who
A
does that?
birthmark, a diamond-shaped birthmark on
3
your
of
face.
them.
3
Lined
diamond-shaped
up.
birthmarks on your face.
Yeah, she has a great line where she says, I was just joking, Michael Jordan, you know?
Michael Jordan.
I was like, I think it's supposed to be a pun. Like, I was joking, Michael Jordan.
Joking, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. You know how it is. They introduce her friends, and they're just, like, awful. I'm like, these people are kind of just cruel to her.
What?
They make fun of her all the time. She's, like, writing him a love letter, and one of them just steals it and starts reading it out loud. I'm like, why are you doing this? This is just, like, weird. But that same friend, she gave her a paper bag, and she's like, it has a condom in it for you. And she's like, what? And she's like, yeah. And she opens it, and it's a USB stick. Because it's a comedian. It's like videos of a comedian named like Kyodam or something. Something similar to condom. She's just fucking with her. But what I got out of that is, why are you carrying around a paper bag with one USB stick in it
Yeah.
with stand-up comedy sketches? What are you doing?
Why do you have that
Why
on
do
you?
you have that on you?
What? Because you need it.
They don't talk about that at all. She just has that.
She just carries it as a memento.
Did she plan this bit beforehand?
This has been a long bit coming.
It's like a normal sized paper bag. The USB stick looks tiny. Like, why did you do this?
That is.
Yeah, that's all it is. I just think it was funny. It's a rarely funny manga. And I haven't seen anyone else ever talk about it.
I feel like I've seen it a good amount just because I feel like the artist is maybe like a Twitter artist or something because I've seen the character a good amount.
They definitely could be.
But I did not see. I haven't caught up to it.
This one?
Yeah, I've definitely seen the character.
Yeah. It's funny.
It's funny.
That's all I got to say. What's your third one?
Joking, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. I'm just joking, Michael Jordan.
I'm just joking, Michael Jordan. Okay, so my third one is called Act Age, and it was canceled.
Oh, this is the one I was thinking of.
Really?
Yeah. What was that Shonen Jump one that was written by a pedophile? Well, I mean, there's a few of them, but what was the one that got canceled early? I thought this guy was a pedophile.
No, I don't think he's a pedophile. Oh shit, we might need to look it up.
I'm pretty sure Act Age got canceled because the author went to jail for being a pedophile.
I'm pretty sure he went to jail for tax evasion.
We're gonna hope it's tax evasion. Because if it's the other thing, that's a little different.
We can't talk about this one.
No way.
No, it was a different one that was tax
evasion.
evasion.
Did he really?
Dude, I need to find the tax evasion go.
You could talk about it still. We've probably hit an author that's a pedophile already.
Okay, so that's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
He's...
That's okay. It's not in the manga. Clearly it didn't show if you didn't even know.
Well, so...
That's not a good way to come back from that.
So, it kind of recontextualizes a little bit. It's not at all romance manga, like, really.
Okay.
But the main character is a schoolgirl.
Is this even Slop? Wasn't this in Shonen Jump?
It's, like, pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
It's about somebody who... It's about some, like, girl who's, like, low-key, like, super... I don't remember if she's, like, super mentally ill, like, suicidal or what. But, like, she ends up getting into acting. And she does this thing called, like, method acting.
Yep.
Where you're, like, trying to...
You're always in character.
You're always in character. And she's just, like, really good. Like, concerningly good at method acting. Like, to the point where everybody's, like scared.
It's like pseudo-harem.
It's kind of like pseudo-harem, but, like, way more serious. Because it's just about, like...
It's a shonen.
It's a shonen about acting. So
or it's
like
a seinen, I don't fucking know.
It's a bit more, like, you know, it's a bit, like, overplayed and, like...
Right.
There's, like, it's... They managed to, like, put, like, action... Not real action, but, like, put some sort of, like... Dramatization. But, like... And she's just there, and she's just, like, so definitely mentally ill. And so good at method acting. And it was on a crazy run, and then I guess he did that shit, and that's tough.
Yeah, he did that shit.
That's
so funny. The one I was trying to think of you had brought.
No, I brought that one. I was thinking about the tax evasion guy.
I think you told me about the tax evasion guy once.
I don't remember who it was, though.
I have no idea. It was not this one.
Not that one, dude. That's tough.
That's so funny. We almost cleared his name on the Slop review. We almost let him get away with tax evasion instead of being a pedophile.
The tax evasion guy is based. This guy's not based.
If you go to prison for tax evasion and you have less than $1 million, you're based. If it's more, you should get locked up longer.
You should get locked up longer. You're probably not going to jail anyway. Because
you should be killed. You don't need to go to jail. You die.
But if you're like, if you're not rich, you go to jail for tax evasion.
Based. You're not paying taxes in jail.
Tax evasion.
What?
We might need to censor that.
Yeah, I can fucking bleep that. What?
He kind of did. When he started working at his first job, he would get paid in cash.
Oh.
And they would not give him... None of that was reported.
You only had to wait like 5-6 years. Until the big beautiful bill goes through.
Yeah, and then we're all good.
I'll cut some of that out.
I don't know anybody that The tax evasion.
I don't know a single person in my life who is roughly 4'8" that evaded their taxes while working out.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of bleeps there.
I don't know. I'm giving myself more work. I have to do it.
Beep. We don't know anybody like that that did anything illegal, and nor did he write a manga.
What?
He didn't write a manga.
Oh.
That got canceled.
Oh, I thought this was gonna be like. I thought this was a weird fake out where he did write a manga. I was like, what did I miss?
That'd be really funny.
Bro
if he
owns
did.
a house and wrote a manga and evaded taxes.
In order to like get the vibes right, he goes and he just like sits in a random room with his like tenants, and he just.
All right, this is my third one. I brought the young lady has been acting weird ever since someone confessed to me. These are written by Hidari Ryu and drawn by Yato Yuki. First of all, when it says like ever since someone confessed to me, I don't know why it's worded like that. He is not the main character. She is.
Okay.
I don't know why. The title is just wrong. The art in this one is unbelievably goated.
Okay.
It might be like, for Slop, maybe top 5 artists ever.
Really?
It looks so good.
In like a clean way or like a rougher way?
Both. It hits the perfect middle ground, I
Wow.
think.
Interesting.
It looks so good. The plot of this one is that she is like the heir to a wealthy family. It's a high school romance like they always are. She's the heir to a wealthy family. She wants to date her butler. Like really bad. He's the same age.
Okay.
And she's like, I can't confess to him because then there'll be a power dynamic. Which is kind of based, actually.
That is kind of...
I'm like, good for her.
That's kind of respectful for her to do.
And she's like, so I need to get him to confess to me. Now, where it becomes a little less based and respectful is some of the means she goes through because she's rich.
Right.
And they actually play into that a lot. They're going to school and she's like, I can sense that it's going to rain today. She's also just like goated at things, I guess. She can sense rain is coming.
Okay.
She's like, it's going to rain tomorrow. I can feel it. And it does. And so she has like the rest of the maids hide every single umbrella in the mansion. And then also she has her personal driver like take the day off. And she like just lies about taxi services being open. She's like, only one umbrella. Gonna have to share it. Which is not the craziest part. A few chapters later, she pays someone else at the school they go to a lot of money to make a horny board game.
What?
And then she gets an excuse to make him leave, so it's just her playing with her butler. And the craziest one of the first chapters, at least, is she's never been on a train before, and she hears that they're crowded. And she's like, I have an idea. We need to go on the train because it'll be crowded.
Mm-hmm.
But then she, I guess, doesn't want to inconvenience people on the train, so she rents out the entire train, and then staffs it with just like random people that she knows, just in order to like stand near him for a while. It is insane. That's the whole manga. It's just like her being incredibly wealthy, and just like doing bullshit.
Do any of it like have any effect
No,
on him?
zero.
He doesn't even like know what's going on.
No, it's like the classic story where he's just like stoic still and it backfires on her and she's like, oh, my heart go doki doki.
Oh my...
Oh no.
Don't say that.
Why can't
Your
I
heart's
say
not
that?
going doki doki.
My heart's going...
It's not going doki doki.
right now.
Oh.
My sweat glands
You
are
don't
going
fu-
doki doki.
Yeah, I know,
Dude, it is so hot in here. It is unbelievably hot.
The slop review, but we get cooked into slop.
I'm sweating really bad.
I'm closer to the fan, I'm dying.
This corner of the room is going to stink.
We're gonna flee this corner.
We're going to run for the hills. This Baja Blast is my lifeline. The Slop Review is sponsored by Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
And
I
tax
hate
evasion.
Baja Blast.
You don't like Baja Blast?
Yeah, I don't like Baja Blast at all.
Alright.
Alright, anyway, it's not slop. Well, Baja Blast is slop. Slop from my holes. Whoa!
Throw my baby hand at you. Now re-equip another one.
No.
2 baby hands.
Hey, you speak up. I got my own now.
Wait,
Okay.
can I have the baby?
Okay. That's perfect.
Oh, Sugoi.
It's Tyler.
It looks so funny.
It's Tyler.
Dude, it looks so funny.
That's.
It'll get you. Okay, is that all we got for Slop?
I think that's what we got for Slop.
I think we're gonna kind of cut down on these episodes now. 90 minutes is like a decent length, but it's kind of long.
It's kind of long.
Especially since I think with Slop, a lot of plot points kind of converge on each other and be pretty samey.
Yeah.
So I think doing like single hour episodes is not going to be a problem.
I think maybe whenever we try to start watching anime, we could do that like every other. We could get to 90 because we'll have more to talk about
maybe.
something like that.
All right, well that leads us to
The most important
the
part.
final event.
One Piece, which I caught up to this morning.
I caught up to it last night.
So.
And then I wrote about my Slop this morning.
Okay, so my thoughts on the news.
Just quick, we read chapters 8 through 21. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
It was the Orange Town arc.
The Orange Town arc, which is the one with like the clown guy, right?
Buggy the Clown.
I'm not reading some off-brand. Okay, so
If you were reading the wrong One Piece somehow.
I feel like I don't know if I'd call it like a terrible arc, but I think it was like all a mistake.
You think it was all a mistake?
There was a lot of like I think that having the second arc include a devil fruit eater was a mistake.
You think so?
I think so, because it kind of felt like devil fruits were supposed to be sort of like this like they'd be like a stronger person, which like he was a stronger person.
He was stronger.
He was stronger, but like not by that much. Like he was a pretty minor villain, you know.
Yeah, Buggy sucks.
Yeah, Buggy fucking sucks. And so like
Buggy's an extremely important character, by the way.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. Also Nami, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. But like just including one and then so easily having him be defeated.
It wasn't easily.
It was pretty easy.
It was kind of easy.
It was pretty easy.
I mean, some devil fruits are better than others. Also, the idea of devil fruits being rare is not a thing. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot? Okay.
I think throughout the whole series, there's probably like close to 200 devil fruits.
Really? Okay. Because I was under the impression it was like something that was like fairly rare. Even like right now.
You'll see arcs where like the main villain is a devil fruit user, and then their like goons are devil fruit users, and then a couple side characters will also have devil fruits.
Oh wow. Okay.
There's a lot.
Okay.
They're a little rare at this point just because we're still in East Blue, but yeah, they're super common.
Okay. Because I was under the impression that it was like a bit more like, oh, this guy's important, you know?
Yeah.
And the clown guy got a way better power, at least right now,
Than Luffy?
than Luffy did.
Yeah.
You know?
Being able to separate his body, and for some reason a lot of his body parts can just kind of fly.
Yeah, right?
Which is weird. I don't know where that came from.
Like, it's kind of crazy. He can just, like, control. Like, he was, like, holding somebody's neck, like, from a
That was awesome. The
far.
bear.
I was like, that's strong, dude. Like, that's a powerful ability. The only weakness that he has is, like, chop, chop. Dude, does every devil fruit user have to say, like, some weird line before you use
No,
them?
they don't. They just
Okay.
do that. Some of them just do that for fun.
Because, like, Luffy's going gum, gum, blank. And then
Well,
he's going
Luffy's
chop,
just
chop.
like an idiot, and Buggy's trying to aura farm. Dude, speaking of, also the guy, the like chimera guy, you know what I'm talking about? Or no, he's not a chimera. He's riding on the lion.
The lion, yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, dude, what the hell is that guy's deal? Why does
What
he
is-
look like that?
Why does he look like that?
It's so funny.
It's also so weird because, like, they're like, oh, he's like, why do you have that costume on? He's like, this is my hair. Your hair is in the shape of ears, bro.
You were just born like that.
Why does he look like
He
that?
was just born that way.
We're being an asshole.
Yeah, we're at fault right now.
Like, that was so weird looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this arc, I think, is definitely a downgrade from Romance Dawn.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the arc after this is Syrup Village, which is a funny name. Syrup Village sucks.
Okay.
It's like 20 chapters, but then after that, we get into 2 back-to-back bangers.
Sure. Yeah, because I know it was, like, going into that forest. You talk about the forest, right?
Yeah, that's Syrup Village.
Okay. So, And also, I felt like Nami does not get a good introduction.
No, Nami's kind of a tough character because, yeah, right now she's not doing a lot. You'll see her like actual value, I think, really soon. But this arc she doesn't do anything.
Like, I can see her value. Like, she's clearly very smart and like, is there going to be their navigator and like all that.
Yeah.
But like, it's just a tough place for her to be introduced, especially considering she's like a pretty iconic character. So, and then she just like doesn't really do that much, and is like has a pretty boring design in this point.
Yeah, she is. I mean, it's better. It's honestly better than the design she'll get.
Really?
After time skip, oh yeah.
Is it like super sexualized or?
At least he waits till the time skip, because right now I think she's 14.
Okay, good.
She's like 14, 15.
And she gets old enough?
I think so, yeah. I don't know the exact ages, but I'm pretty sure she does.
Hopefully over 18.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It goes kind of crazy. I'm like, damn, Oda, calm the fuck down.
Chill.
That is actually one of the most common criticisms of One Piece, is the farther in it gets, the worse he draws women.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tough.
It is definitely a bit misogynistic.
And so, like, every time that he releases a chapter, there's just a screw getting unloosened in his brain.
Yeah.
And then the misogyny arc takes over.
Yeah, we haven't even met Robin yet. Or fucking Boa. Boa!
Boa!
Yeah, this arc is fine, though. There's really not a whole lot going on. My 3 notes say, Zoro Aura farms the East Blue, the glaze is crazy.
Zoro did get glazed.
Yeah, because nobody knows who Luffy is yet.
Yeah.
But that's the Pirate Hunter Zoro.
That's the Pirate Hunter Zoro.
But he's not even, like, that good right now.
He's not even, like, that good, but he does kind of beast it.
He beasts it a little bit. I do like how he gets injured, and he's like, it'll be fine. And then he's, like, carrying the cage around, and then the guy keeps kicking his wounds, so he just cuts it open himself.
Like, what?
It's like, that's kind of beast.
Like, Zoro's beast in this chapter.
That's just Zoro. That's how it'll be the whole thing. My second bullet point says, Luffy bites through a fucking knife. How rubber do that? When he's in the cage, Buggy tries to, like, stab him. Luffy bites it, and it breaks the knife.
I forgot he did that.
He does that. He bites through a knife. I don't know how.
It's because he's like that.
It's because he's made of rubber. Rubber's good at breaking knives with your teeth.
With my with the rubber teeth.
And my third bullet point says diabolical rubbing technique.
Yeah,
I remember someone mentioning a rubbing technique. I don't remember.
So
this bullet point just looks really funny.
So when the lion guy gets beaten by Luffy, he goes back to Buggy and he's like trying to warn him about.
Oh yeah, he's trying to say rubber.
He's trying to say like rubber man, beware the rubber man.
No, like rubbing technique.
His rubbing technique. He was beaten by a masseuse.
That's so funny.
And I was like, damn, dude, the lion guy looks like that. He can't look like that. And he got jerked to completion. Like, that's tough.
Luffy mid-fight jerking him to completion.
Like, that's tough, bro.
Gum beat off. It would feel crazy.
Dude, Luffy would... Oh my god, bro. Holy shit, he does not need a woman in his life.
No. He's got everything he needs.
Right there.
I don't think there's really anything else to say about Orange Town. Do you think it's called Orange Town because it introduces Nami and her hair is orange?
Like, why would it be called Orange Town? Because there's not that much, like...
Not a lot of orange going on.
It's actually just black and white right now,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Much like, I think, all of the arcs.
Yeah, well...
Why isn't every arc called Black and White Town? Black and White Saga.
Black and White Saga.
The final Black and White Saga.
Is Nami meant to be like a romantic character at all? Okay.
No, not there is zero romance in One Piece.
Okay, cool.
For the whole thing. It does not exist.
Because, like, I don't mind when they add that type of stuff, but, like, it is nice to just have a story with no attempt.
Yeah, well, Luffy is, like, basically celibate. He just doesn't care.
Luffy's too busy trying to be the Pirate King.
He is so busy. He's busy with that. Zoro's trying to make his swords go crazy. Yeah. One piece des.
One piece. I'm happy that there's none of that. So she goes.
Yeah, it is pretty refreshing to not have that.
If Oda scales her to late.
Yeah, dude, there's this time lapse. Is it because whenever he does like cover art, sometimes he'll release time lapses, covers for volumes, I mean. And one of the time lapse shows he was drawing like a scene where like it's a bunch of the Straw Hats as like little like chibi versions of themselves, like running around and whatever. And then in the time lapse, you see Oda erase the entire thing and do a 2-page spread of Nami in a bikini. Dude, it's so funny. He got really far in the original drawing too, and then he just didn't do it.
That's
like the goon took over. It was like the Green Goblin mask.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
That's our favorite gooner.
That's our gooner.
He'll die someday.
1,100 chapters of goon.
Alright, before we end this off, I had a question I wanted to ask last week that I just forgot.
Okay.
I was curious, what spoilers do you know about One Piece? And then I'll probably cut this out.
Almost none. I know that I think like Shanks is missing. Queb and Mark. I know about like the whole Gears thing, which at this point just like is not a concept.
Yeah, it doesn't exist for a while yet.
Yeah, like we just don't know what Gears are, but I don't know what they are. I don't know if it like relates to the Devil Fruit. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything about them? I know like the whole Gear 5 thing and like that like big like Red Rock attack.
Red Duraku.
Red Duraku. Kamehameha. And that's pretty much it. And I know that we haven't found the One Piece yet.
That is true.
No One Piece.
Yeah, the only spoiler I had was like the videos of Gear 5 when it showed up on Twitter.
Yeah,
so people went kind of nuclear about that for good reason.
I've seen one thing. I've like seen some character drawings, like some I've seen certain characters.
Yeah, you mentioned you had an idea of who Nami was already.
Yeah, like I don't even Nami. Like once we get later in, there'll probably be some characters that are gonna like
jog your memory.
Not jog my memory even, but just be like I saw them on Twitter.
Yeah, there will be one that shows up in actually he's actually next arc in Syrup Town that I've sent you before, saying not nice things.
Okay.
You'll know exactly who it is when you
Okay.
see him. You will know immediately.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's good.
Yeah, we'll read Syrup Town next. It sucks. We know.
Did you think like I didn't remember if you said much about Orange Town going into it, but like, what was your opinion on it before you reread it now?
Oh, the first time?
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
It's like fine.
It was kind of a nothing burger. I don't really like Buggy. At this point in the story, I didn't really like Nami either, just because she doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
She definitely gets a lot more useful. But if you look at like, people do like Straw Hats tier lists. It's like, oh, who's your favorite crew member? A lot of people put Nami in like F.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's just because she's a woman. Because later on, Nami's kind of the GOAT.
Really? Okay.
Nami's, I think, in my opinion, maybe top 3 crew.
That's good.
I love Nami. She's a great character.
Because I feel like Nami, like her niche is supposed to be, like currently, having seen obviously nothing and knowing basically nothing other than like her designs at some point, it feels like her niche is supposed to be like being the smart character, which in
Very
like,
much a straight man, too.
Yeah. In like these types of stories, it feels like they like often, like in Tower of God, it was a good example of this, where like in Tower of God, the start, like the first few hundred chapters of Tower of God is like a little bit of Bam, which is the main character.
His name is Bam?
Yeah.
Like Bam Margera?
I think it's like Bam of the 21st Night or something is the first thing.
That rules.
But it is mostly carried by a character named Kun, who like...
Whoa! That's crazy!
Yeah, it's so crazy. Who does not, like, even like at the current point, doesn't have that many like combative abilities, but it's just like really big brain. But just due to the nature of like the power scaling, it is like a real plot point that like
Prot point.
Sorry, where,
fraught
like,
point.
He's,
I'm trying to reach the fraught point today.
He's getting like power scaled to the point where like you don't need to be smart.
Right.
And like it's just so everybody's so unbelievably powerful that like his plans don't matter as much.
Yeah, that does not really happen to Nami. She gets stronger, of course, because that's the nature of shonen.
Yeah, right.
But no, she just stays good the whole time. I think she's a great character. People hate her because she's a woman. Because she's a woman, I think she's kind of the straight edge charter, so it's easy to be like, oh, these guys are fun though.
These
They're
are funny, and then
goofy.
we've got
And
Nami
Nami's a fucking woman.
telling him not to do this.
She's telling him knock it off, and I'm a woman. That's why they hate her, but they're just wrong. There are way more hateable Straw Hats.
Yeah, I only know of the 3 now, and I know it's that little guy with the crying picture of Straw Hat.
Which little guy with the crying picture?
It's like the meme image where he's like just distraught.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't see him for a while yet.
Yeah, I imagine it would. Because they probably like get like a trio out, like thinking it would get like a trio and then start doing stuff from there without needing to go into getting more, unless it gets another person quickly.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Yes, sir.
We are reading One Piece. One Piece.
One Piece. Syrup Village.
We're nearing the end.
We're almost there.
1,100 more chapters.
That's so much One Piece, dude.
Eventually, we'll start enjoying it, and then maybe we'll go faster.
Yes, sir. All right, that's the Slop review.
That's the Slop review. You want to do your signature clap?
That sucked.
What an awful clap.